this is just going to be a recap episode of the Protagonist seat.
Yeah, here's what you missed in the last, 4 seasons of the Protagonist seat?
Yeah, we just recap all of our best bits.
Exactly. The boo-boos on the inside.
G'day,
That's all I remember.
That's the recap episode.
Good job. We did it. All right.
Yeah.
See you next time, guys. See you next week.
No, this is the end for everything but JoJo because they decided to be weird and have like an extra 1 or 2 episodes left.
Because JoJo is special.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got. JoJo is special, so they need to have their own special length.
Yeah, let's just get right into it. So we find out whose body the boss is in. Also, Doppio dies.
Yep, Doppio fucking dies.
Because Bruno's body's done, and so Doppio just dies in it. And he's there looking at the phone like, boss, just call me one more time. But he can't because he's not there.
Yeah. Rip Doppio, a villain. Turns out the boss is hiding in one of the boys' bodies.
Yeah, Giorno figures it out, and he's like, everyone should stay away from each other.
Everybody just chill the fuck out. And they do, because, I mean, Requiem's not getting very far.
Yeah, and Mista's all paranoid.
Because of course he is.
Giorno's like, listen, I'm going to check everyone with golden experience just to see, because I can feel life energy, who's got 2 souls in them.
And I already felt the turtle, so I know it's not him.
And it can't be me, because Narancia's body, when Narancia died, the body was empty.
And then Mista doesn't take kindly to these accusations. He draws his gun on everybody. He's like, we got a Mexican standoff now, because no one's going to prove to me.
Oh, and his revolver broke, which was actually broken by the boss. But he ends up picking up some cop's Beretta.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, so...
Good thing I picked up that cop's Beretta. When?
And turns out the reason Mista uses a revolver is it's way faster for the bullets to reload because they can't do it with a Beretta unless he takes out the clip.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of Mexican standoffy, and for instead of checking other people and doing the whole guilty by or innocent by elimination thing. For
my question
Mista
is, why didn't Mista just have Giorno fix his revolver?
It's a good question.
Because he can just do that instantly.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I shoved a beetle into it and now it's metal.
Yeah, I turned the beetle. Well, he does use... he turns part of it into a mole to find, like, the bit that broke off so he can prove that the boss broke it. But eventually Bruno's like, bruh, just check me first. Just we'll leave the man with the gun and the unstable attitude to himself. Just check me first.
And then Giorno's about to go over and check Bruno when all of a sudden King Crimson attacks him and punches off his arm.
Yeah.
But that's fine because Giorno's lost arms multiple times.
Giorno is probably one of the few people that, it's fine if he loses an arm.
And then at first they think, oh, it was inside Bruno all along. And he's like, no, it was inside Trish in Mista's body.
Turns out he like skipped time, punched Trish closer, and then came out of King Crimson. And then Trish brings out her stand, Spice Girls, because the boss is right there.
Which is what he wanted, because then he basically grabs Spice Girls by the neck and starts using Spice Girls to control Mista's body.
It's puppet time.
Yeah.
And then he runs the fuck away because he's like, now I can just go and get it myself. My cover's blown. We're doing it, boys. We're in it. So he chases after Requiem, and Bruno fixes his own arm and picks up a turtle while everyone else chases after Requiem. And then a standoff occurs.
Yeah, so So King Crimson punches a donut-sized hole through Trish, so she goes flying at the arrow.
He doesn't punch it through her because...
Well, through her stand, but that's the same thing.
Well, he is in her body, so he technically can't kill her just yet because that would kill him too. Because we actually see as he's flying through the air, both of them cough up blood because, you know. But he gets his hands on the arrow. Oh, no. And I believe this is the point where Giorno shows up and is like, I turned my blood into ants to eat the arrow off.
Yeah.
And it works because of course it does.
Yeah, and then we end up just everyone's like, oh, who gets the arrow? And then next week it's going to be Giorno. And he's going to stab himself with it like in the opening.
Yeah, next week Giorno gets the arrow. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
And then maybe we'll finally be done next week and we can actually just add it to the awards since we talk about it first. And then boom, now it's finally done. It's done.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's not 2 more.
Hopefully. Rising of the Shield Hero.
The end of the Shield Hero.
Title card.
Yeah, so it cuts back to his fight with Glass, and he kind of fucks her up. I guess he got strong enough where he can fuck up Glass, and he has a shield that's a hard counter to her.
He realizes that his skill point sucking shield, for whatever reason, just sucks the life out of this woman. So he just uses that against her and drains the shit out of her life.
Yeah, he goes and 1v1s her while Raftalia, Melty, and Philo fight Lark and Teresa.
And you know what? That means that now Fumi's party members are better than the Cardinal heroes.
Yeah, well, that's been known for a while.
Yeah, but now we get to see it, and it's like, that feels bad, man.
Melty's better than the other 3 heroes.
Yeah, the princess.
Yeah, it's it's like a no contest thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
And Glass reveals that she is also from another world and that she is
also isekai.
And she is one of the vassal heroes where they have the vassal weapons, and she is the fan hero, which
Yay.
The fan hero.
Oh boy.
If I think of all like the weapons that I could possibly have, and I'm like, you know what? I want the fan.
Yeah, give me the bladed fans.
Yeah.
I would rather have Teresa's power because she's got the cool magic gem bangle things.
Yeah, and Lark has a scythe, which is just always neat.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it's just the spear, but instead with more of a swinging motion instead of a thrust.
It's a cutting spear.
Yeah.
So he fucks up Glass.
But then Lark gives Glass a potion, and she's about to get super buffed when I think her name's Risha. Bo Guy's party member shows up with a bunch of barrels of the heavily distilled alcohol berries.
Yeah, because the queen comes up with a plan because, you know, the queen is a reasonably intelligent person.
Yeah, and so the girl with the green hair flings it all into the air, and now Fumi blows it up, and it gets Glass super drunk.
Yeah, it gets her. We got her.
Plastered.
Guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we got her.
You want to beat a really tough opponent? Just get him plastered.
Just get him fucking cocked.
Get him hammered.
Because it doesn't affect Naofumi. Because of course not. Because he's the defense man.
Yeah, so he has super high poison resistance.
Yeah. And then they're like, well, wave's over. We got a GG, so...
Yep, because the timer shows back up, and they're like, all right, time to leave.
See you again.
Kiddo.
Buzz. And then they screw off.
Oh, and poor green-haired girl got herself caught in the alcohol blast, too.
Yeah, so she is way hammered. And then I believe that's where we cut to...
Everyone's celebrating. It's all, yeah, hooray, we win.
We won again. And we didn't murder people this time.
I liked how on the boat, the queen was talking to, I think, someone else, and they were just going on like, man, the other heroes are really weak. We have to really rely on Iwata-sama.
Yeah. And she's
like, yep. Yeah, they are really weak.
They are terrible. But everyone's celebrating, and Philo catches something in the ocean. It's green-haired girl. Because apparently they didn't like the fact that she was helping.
Yeah. So I actually read a little bit of the manga. It's just kind of up into the next arc because the anime basically is one arc behind where the manga is. And they did that scene a lot better in the manga, but that's probably because they have one episode to squeeze it in.
Exactly.
Basically, she gets told off by Bogai's party because they accuse her of stealing something. And Bogai immediately believes his party members, where all of them are just jealous that she got, like, glory in the previous battle and they didn't.
Yeah.
And so he kicks her out, and she's super depressed, so she just runs into the ocean to try to, like, drown herself. And now Fumi in the manga is actually there, and he's, like, marching into the ocean with her, like, stop it!
That's pretty good. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And so he basically convinces her not to kill herself and join his party.
Yep.
And it's done way better, but again, I think time constraints, they were just like, just quickly breeze through this.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens, it's fine, whatever.
And yeah, she joins his party.
We got a lot of shit to get through. And we see back at Raftalia's hometown.
Yeah, now Fumi was talking to the queen, and she's like, I'm going to feel bad if I can't repay you with something. And he's like, all right, I think I know what I want. And she basically gives him his own domain, which is Raftalia's town area. He basically is now the lord of the demi-human region of Malomark.
Yep. So he stages a massive rebuilding effort for Raftalia's town. And he's like, hey, I'm rebuilding your town.
And all the side characters we've seen up until now have all kind of gone over there.
Yeah, except for
the merchant. Well, the weapon shop guy.
Yeah. Him and Black Market dude stay where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm assuming the slave trade guy is not really welcome.
Probably not. So he's like, hey, we're gonna build our own army. We're gonna recruit as many people to my party as physically possible. And Raftalia she's not very happy about this. She's like, what the frick, man? You're preparing us for when you're gonna leave, but I don't want you to leave. She don't want him to leave. And
she kind of like breaks down and cries, but then now Fumi has like you know what? I'm glad you feel that way, because I don't think I want to leave either. Because he thinks back on it, and he was just some nobody who had no job and was basically living off some sort of inheritance money, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like a weird either inheritance or allowance or something.
Yeah. He was a NEET.
He
did not have many things going for him. He is the lord of now a region. I think he's doing better.
And he's a successful jewel crafter.
And a successful merchant.
So our boy decides to stay.
Yep, and he builds up his kingdom, and that's basically where it ends. Everyone's building everything up, and you get a little bit at the end of all the other heroes and what they're doing. Ren is all pissed off, swinging his sword, training, and he's just like, I'm gonna be the strongest. I'm gonna beat Naofumi.
I'm gonna be the very best. And no one ever wants.
And then Itsuki finds out that he's got his own land, and he's like, well, if he's going to be stuck there, I'm the only person who can actually go around, like, fixing problems and saving people, even though he
fucks things up so much worse.
Yeah.
He does not
surprisingly,
fix anything.
The only person at the end who shows any sort of growth is Motoyasu, where bitch is basically saying, like, oh, didn't you hear that Naofumi got his own domain? And he's like, yeah, we should totally go and visit him sometime.
Yeah. Motoyasu, surprisingly the only, like, semi-cool one at the end.
Apparently in his own manga, like, because he has a Spear Hero spinoff, he actually ends up being pretty bro with Naofumi. But yeah.
He feels like he could be a bro. He's just stupid.
He's just dumb, whereas the other two are really arrogant. He just is dumb.
He's just stupid.
Because, like, when the Pope showed up, he like immediately was, he's like, no, Fumi, we gotta team up. And he's like, no, I'm not teaming up with you. You're an asshole. And he's like, what?
What do you mean? But we're heroes.
Yeah.
We also get a little interesting glimpse that the slave trader dude was talking
working with the queen's shadows.
Yeah, and he was like, "I'm assuming you're probably not gonna be my patrons anymore." And they didn't say nothing because they're shadows. Shadows don't talk.
I think they were specifically like ended up like using him to guide Naofumi there because they knew he needed like a party and stuff.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Because the queen, is since the beginning of the show, seems to have always been sort of helping him out from the shadows.
Yeah, from the shadows.
Yeah, Shield Hero ended. There's no real season 2 bait, which
No.
would. That doesn't mean it won't get one. Overlord didn't get a season 2 till like 2 years later.
Yeah, and Overlord is great.
And speaking of Overlord, in Isekai Quartet, they teased a season 2 with more characters, and specifically, it's all Kadokawa shows.
Yes,
And Shield Hero is owned by Kadokawa.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, I wonder if Slime will be in it. Slime is not owned by Kadokawa.
I don't really care if Slime's in it.
I don't either, but people really will. That one's really popular.
It is. It's like it's the one that did get better after we dropped it, but even then it was like I didn't really care about most of the characters.
Yeah.
Um
The thing I liked about Shield Hero is the world building was neat in it.
yeah. There's a lot of good world building.
Yeah, whereas Slime, what I got from it, it's kind of like a slice of life. Because
Yeah.
nothing's really a threat to Slime Boy,
Exactly.
since he can just eat everything. It's like, oh no, a very powerful enemy. Whoop.
I'll just eat him and gain his power.
He's just fucking Kirby.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Shield Hero a lot. The ending was a little rushed, but I was satisfied with it. It's not as bad as some of the endings we're going to get to on here.
Me
one,
too.
One specifically pissed me off.
Is it gonna be the next one?
It is going to be the next
Because
one.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I thought for a minute, I'm like, oh, is there maybe another episode? And no. Okay, so
That's what I was gonna ask because I was very confused.
Shield Hero, very good. Watch it, check it out. Even if you don't like Isekai, it's still a good fantasy.
Yeah.
But Kono Oto Tamare, it just fucking ends.
It just ends. Like,
They finish playing and then boom, ends.
yeah,
No, like it wrapping anything up where it's like how everyone was like, hey, you know what? You guys are actually pretty good. Or then like
Yeah.
crazy lesbian girl, like, like, I guess you are good enough to play with Hozaki. Just ends.
yeah. It was one of the few times I actually watched the post credits because I watched the credits because I was like, hold on. I mean, there's got to be
it's gotta be
something.
They
No.
didn't even do like a reel in the credits like Shield Hero and Robihachi did, where it's like,
Yeah.
what are they doing now? What are the other characters doing? It's just ends and then regular credits.
Yeah. But Kudo injures his hand, and he still plays.
Yeah, basically, Kudo injured his hand last time, which it wasn't the hand he stopped the thing with, like the fall.
No.
It was the one he put on the ground to support himself, which I don't know how he did that.
It's not a very narratively consistent thing.
Yeah, so when he stopped the koto, he injured his hand, and the teacher noticed, and the teacher basically brings him to the bathroom to tell him, hey, you should drop out.
Yeah.
Drop out of this show. It's not nationals or anything. They don't need you. They can play without you.
And he is not having it.
Yeah.
He even punches a wall with his busted hand.
He palms the wall.
He palms the wall.
Yeah,
with
which
his
just makes it worse.
busted hand. And club president man is standing outside of the bathroom.
Yeah, and he basically
Because
hears
of course he is.
Yeah, he hears about this, and the teacher's like, hey, you should quit. And he's like, no. He's like, I want to play with everybody.
I want to play with these guys.
And then he storms off.
I want to play with my bros.
And he uses the excuse that he's got diarrhea to not have to help.
To not go to the practice tuning room.
Yeah. And the club president guy's torn on what he's going to do. And then he basically decides to tell everybody. He's like, guys, I have something to say. Kudo is, and then he shows up and he decides, you know what? I'm gonna let him play. And he's like,
Screw
even
it.
though if it's a bad decision for the club,
It's a good decision for our friendship.
and the teacher's just like, hope you know what you're doing. This is a bad idea.
No, ho, 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 kid.
And they get up on stage, and they're all super nervous. And then all the characters that we got front loaded on the previous episodes with are all there. We even see the guy who's the L guy from Death Note, who was introduced at the end of last episode, shown once this episode, and it's like, why?
Because I don't know. I knew exactly what he was gonna serve. Because as soon as he showed up, and he was like, I don't want to listen to the other ones.
Their
They're
sound
too
is
mechanical.
Yeah. And then he hears them playing. He's like, whoa.
Yeah, I immediately knew. Oh, he's gonna hear the main cast and be like, oh, whoa.
So they all start playing, and at first they're pretty good. But then when it's time for the duet with Club President and Kudo, they just start fucking up because Kudo's hand's all messed up.
Yeah, and Hozaki is
and everyone starts fucking up because Hozaki realizes she sees his hands bruised, and she thinks, oh man, that's my fault, and I didn't even notice. So she starts playing worse. Everyone's playing worse, and they think it's over. And then Kota,
Genki Boy,
he comes through, and he just starts playing super good and like pulling everyone together.
He jams the shit out of that Koto. He's jamming.
He's doing his Koto, so like.
And then everyone else starts jamming out, and they're like, "Everyone down in Georgia, I was looking for a holder steal."
And all of their spirits start running together because they're all in sync and in unison.
And of course, we need that kind of like visual for it.
Yeah, and then Kudo starts playing fine, even though he has a broken hand. In fact, he's playing so good he starts blowing everybody in the audience away.
The wind.
Yeah, the wind.
They
and all
do
the
that
judges and
times.
everyone's like standing there shocked. Even lesbian girls like,
because these people really like Koto music. And then last but not least, Hozaki jumps in. She's like, I gotta lead them by being the best I can be.
And then they all start playing really good, and then it ends.
Oh, and
before it ends, the teacher's like, they were right.
Yeah, they were taking it seriously all along.
And then it
ends.
Just fade to white, credits, nothing after.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Robihachi.
Yeah. No, but seriously on that, I feel like this was one of the best shows this season, and the last couple of episodes were just real rough.
Yeah.
Like, this whole tournament has just been, here's new character, here's their backstory, the end.
I don't understand. Is this one based off a manga?
It is a manga, so basically it's at the end of the day, like, go read the manga now.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that either.
I like it, but not enough to read the manga.
No, because, like, one of the big draws for me was, hey, I get to listen to some music that's a little different than what I usually listen to.
Yeah, I also feel like with a music series, it's weird to, like, not have music.
Because, like, what you don't know what it sounds like. Because if I was reading this manga without having watched this show, I would have no idea what any of this stuff sounded like.
Yeah, and then you have to do, like, extra research and, like, Google the songs.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I did do that once, though, just because I was very curious.
Yeah, it's your traditional read the manga ending.
Yeah, and I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah,
because it's not good.
I feel like if you're gonna if your series exists purposefully to just advertise the source material, that's fine. But at least end on like a good point where you can stop. Like, you know, hey, this is a good stopping point. Like Shield Hero, that's fine. I know there's way more, and they leave it open enough to like there is more after. But here's a good point to stop this show. Yeah. You can just watch this entire show and you get a good, like, now Fumi starts out with nothing and at the end he's a lord.
Exactly. You get a good picture of the series and it ends in a good place.
Yeah, for if you want to keep going, you can. If you want to stop, that's fine. That's a good place to stop.
Because this one wasn't even, like...
I don't even... How did they do? Did they place?
What even...
Because they were shitty in the middle, but, like, the judges seemed blown away at the end. What happened?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
You gotta like read the first page of the manga to be like, they didn't place.
They didn't.
But they're gonna try harder next time, and then we got like 4 more training arcs.
Oh, good. Yeah, don't do shit like this. Don't do it.
Yeah. So the comeback kid,
The comeback kid.
Robihachi.
I was very happy.
We had, like, episode 8 through 11 were pretty rough.
They pulled it together.
They pulled it together. That was a good finale.
It was real good. So it starts off where the last one left off.
Yeah, where Hachi's like, I'm the Prince of the Moon.
And they're like, nah. And he's like, no, seriously, dude, I am the Prince of the Moon. Why don't you guys believe me?
And then Yang starts showing up, and they decide, hey, we can talk more about this later. Let's get out of here.
Let's leave before Yang catches me.
And then they're trying to escape, but the moon ships are really fast. And they're like, they're going to catch us. And then Yang flies by. He's like, get away from my Robbie. And he, like, slams the fake crystal into them and takes out, like, all but one of the ships.
And they leave the planet, and Yang and the moon ship get into an actual battle. They are shooting at each other.
His ship is kind of like a weird fish, like a carp thing or whatever, and it starts, like, biting the enemy ship.
It's so good. Our boys discover a secret hyper road.
Yeah, because they're hiding on a freight carrier, and then they realize that and this was my favorite part. They went through that big, long journey, and they found out the marketing company had a secret hypergate that just goes directly to Earth and skips all the other planets.
Yep, of course it does.
And they were like, wow, so they just had us go through this entire route, charging us all that money, when we could have just been here instantly. And then Robbie and the moon ship chase them through, or Yang and the moon ship start chasing them through. And while they're there, Hachi explains basically that he paid off Robbie's debt, and they both basically have like a "you're my best friend" moment.
Yeah, it's a good bro time moment.
Yeah, and then Yang catches up to them, and they're like, "Uh-oh," and he's like, basically his eyes are like bulging out of his head, and they're like, "You've already paid your debt. What could he possibly want?" And then Robbie thinks back, ass butt.
Yeah, that one scene at Eel Planet.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, beats me.
And then he gets rammed from behind. He's like, oh, I've been rammed from behind. And his ship goes flying after he gets hit by the moon ship.
I loved it so much. The phrasing this episode is so good.
It's like, Robbie went through that hole. Quick, we gotta get in that hole.
We need to get in that hole. So there's a little bit of a chase scene.
And then they get accidentally knocked out of the hypergate. And they're like, there's no telling where we're going to warp out of. And then Independence Day is actually going on Earth right now, where there's this giant ship over Neo-Tokyo that's going to basically nuke the Earth.
Yeah.
And Robbie and Hachi come right out of their hypergate and accidentally lodge their ship right into the cannon.
Yep.
Just like Independence Day, you fly right into the thing and it blows up.
Just like in Independence Day.
So they realize, oh man, this is the worst place to be. So they both escape in the Hizukrieger. The alien ship blows up, and the Hizukrieger's like glittering with like gold as they land and touch down on the beach. And everyone in the world, everyone in like the city's just like, that's the Hizukrieger. It was a show when I was a little boy. Hizukrieger, Hizukrieger.
There's like an old lady who's like, in our darkest days, he will show up in robes of gold to deliver us from despair.
And everyone's like got cameras on them. It's like, those are the two heroes that saved Earth. After they get out, and they're like, wait, did we just save the Earth?
What's going on?
And they just roll with it. They're now like the heroes who saved Earth. They're at like press conferences and stuff. People are taking photos of them.
Iku writes a book about it.
Yeah, they end up at the end. Robbie takes out his crystal that he picked up, or the rock he picked up. Turns out, like I thought, inside the rock was a crystal.
Yep.
And he's like, "That's where my good luck came from." And he gives it to Hachi as a memento for the trip.
Hey, be a good Moon King.
And then it ends right there. But then we get a reel in the credits of what everyone's doing. So,
all right.
This is like, that was the best like credits ending for like the entire thing.
It's so good.
Yeah, Iku writes a book about Robbie and Hachi, and turns out Iku was around when as we thought, Robbie and Hachi's grandfathers were friends.
And Hachi's grandfather was in fact the kid from the last episode of the Hizukrieger anime.
So Robbie's grandfather was best friends with Hachi's grandfather, and he made the anime about it. And then Hachi's grandfather ended up going to the moon and becoming the first man in space.
Becoming the first Oh yeah, and they explained the aliens' cramps.
Yeah.
Basically, in the old Japanese samurai stories, whenever a samurai comes across a woman crouched on the side of the road,
Yeah, she's like, I have cramps. But they were like, it was actually probably diarrhea.
it was probably diarrhea.
But she's not going to say, I have a loose stool.
Yeah, because no decent woman is going to say to a handsome young samurai she just met, I have loose stool.
But yeah, that's what they're doing. You see Yang, he's looking out the window all sad, and then he reaches into his bag of candies that Robbie gave him, and it's empty.
There must have been a shitload of candy in that bag.
Yeah, or he just eats it very infrequently.
Probably.
And then he goes and he drops it into the trash, and he sits in front of some new handsome guy that's looking to get money.
Who looks suspiciously like Robbie.
And he gives Yang a gift, and Yang blushes, and now that's probably going to be his new obsession.
I think he gives him sticks of butter.
Yeah, it looks like butter.
This show has one of the greatest recurring characters of all time. The alleyway with the orange box in it.
Robbie, you see, he's living the high life because the Hizu Krieger show is making like a ton of money in their show. All the stores are selling Hizu Kriegers and Iku products and stuff, and Robbie's basically a rich man. And Hachi's living on the moon. And then finally, after the credits end, you see Robbie sitting in a box in just an alleyway.
In that same alleyway. Same one.
And he's like, man, I didn't expect the Hizu Krieger bubble to burst so quickly.
Now I'm penniless again. But then two mysterious figures approach him.
Iku and Hachi. And he gives him back the crystal, and he's just like, hey, let's go on another adventure and find our happiness.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Izumander, Izumander.
Yeah.
So a whole nother like tourism planet.
And the sidebars are like, we thought we would be getting a longer show. Sorry, but it's over now. What you watched is the end.
Yeah, they knew how many episodes they had.
Yeah.
They struggled with what they had.
Yeah, but it was still funny.
Yeah, no, it pulled itself together in the ending.
We also learned that Hachi ends up working for Yang.
By sitting in the same alley.
Although, he's not in the box.
Yeah.
He is the only character who is not sitting in the box.
The kid wasn't, the Afro kid.
Oh yeah, he wasn't either. He was just chilling in the heat. So if you ever want to recruit somebody for something, go down an alley with an orange box in it.
The best people are found in boxes.
Box your people, folks.
But yeah, Robihachi was the comeback kid.
What a good ending.
Pulled it all together.
Wrapped it up with a neat little bow. Thank you, Robihachi, for the good times we had.
Yeah, it filled our double-decker void.
Yep. That one kind of obscure show that we just pick up and have a real good time with.
And next week, we get to have a weird week because we're technically going to be watching all the new shit that's starting to air, but not everything airs next week. But all we have to do next week is technically just talk about JoJo and the awards.
Yeah, get ready for our awards. You guys excited for our awards?
Our awards?
Our awards?
Yeah, we got to come up with our meme categories.
Yeah, we need some meme categories. If you have any ideas for meme categories, all 10 of you, drop them in the comments.
Yeah.
We need something.
Something, please.
Anything.
Help.
It saves us so much work.
We actually get someone that suggests something, but we're not going to go with it.
Yeah, we forget to check. So
character with best feet.
Best feet.
I guess we're not going to do that one.
Yang.
Character with least amount of screen time. Meme category.
Meme. Oh.
Green hair.
Yes. Yeah. If you enjoyed this short episode, or if you'd like a longer episode, feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Because I guarantee when the start of the season kicks in, it's going to be a long-ass episode.
It's going to be very long.
The first episode of the season is always super long because some shows we have to cover 2 episodes for.
Yeah.
And that's always... but we got to watch Case Files soon, so get ready.
Yeah.
That airs the 7th.
I want Case Files.
I do too. But yeah, also check us out on Twitter at Protagonist Seat.
Yeah, that's also important.
Yeah.
Spread around our stuff so other people find our stuff too.
Yeah, just throw it at people.
Literally print it, like go to our YouTube homepage, do print, and then print off like
stick them in mailboxes.
Yeah, just print off like a shit ton of
Even
them.
though that's illegal technically because you're not a mailman.
Well, you know what? We're not the ones who did it.
Yeah,
so
we're not the ones who did it.
We can't get busted.
Can we is it illegal if we tell them to put them in mailboxes?
Well, we're not.
Yeah,
see, that's
we're not.
the thing.
We're being sarcastic.
Don't
wink,
put
wink.
them. It's a bit.
Yeah,
don't put
it's
them in
a bit.
mailboxes.
Yeah, we would hate it if you went and put it in mailboxes.
And totally don't make paper airplanes out of it and throw them at random passersby.
Don't sneak into someone's house and just start putting it on coffee tables.
Don't take pictures of our podcast all over people's windows.
Don't sneak into people's homes, kidnap them, tie them up, and make them listen to it.
I can't top that. I got nothing. Don't hijack the airwaves of national news networks and play our podcast over them.
Don't go back in time and replace every major religion that spawned with our podcast.
Transcribe issues or every episode of our podcast. Make a Bible of it. Go back in time and just swap them. Don't do that. That's illegal.
You're gonna have like
probably.
I don't know.
I don't know how time crime works.
In fact, I think there's no statutes about it yet, so I think time crime currently is not a thing. So everything is illegal when it comes to time. You can do anything.
Time is international waters.
Yeah.
You could punch someone in the face in time and wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go make a time machine, so we're going to basically watch all of next season's stuff and then get back to you on that.
Yeah, see ya.
Later.